having me.
All right, have a seat.
Sure.
Was ordered by
That's way too much.
Trying to do things together.
Hello everyone, welcome to MNB World Talk Show. Today we have invited a very busy gentleman who worked as a journalist and TV presenter since 2006. But this TV and media work is not his major thing. He's a CEO of Startup Terminal LLC, Mr. Jagaa Damdin. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Okay, good to meet you, and thank you for receiving our invitation and coming to our studio for
My
this
pleasure.
interview. And I know you're a journalist and presenter, and this is like face to face.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with our very first question. Your major is in public relations initially, but you've gotten into TV and TV presenting, hosting, journalism since 2006. What was the trigger that really made you adapt to this field?
Okay, just recently UBS celebrated its 27th year anniversary. So of those 27 years, I've been with them for 12 years.
12 years?
12 or 13 years, yeah.
Okay.
So I was back in 2006 or 2007, I was in junior at my university.
Okay.
And during the summer days and cozy summer days, I was laying at my home and I saw a job posting on TV commercial ad.
You were still a student?
Yeah, I was student junior at my university. So I took I saw the offer. I wanted to like explore myself, you know. I wanted to like explore myself. I wanted to like dedicate myself to other branches, you know. Like as I was already I have already started studying the international relations. So media business was whole different. You know, media. TV industry is a whole different animal from the like public relations sector. So just a junior, when I saw the ad, went to the TV and met with many skilled, highly trained news anchors and also directors. All directors are like scolding you for no reason, you know, for no reason.
Do this and that.
Even this day, I you know, like for no specific reason or something like that, you know. It was like there were so many obstacles, but the things you learn are so many. Like you know, you just cherish them. You know, since 2006 till now, for 13 years, I've been operating as a news anchor, TV presenter, also translator. Initially, I worked as a news translator for 2 years. Then the female director, saw me, and she called me upon and, hey, do you have any like interest in working as a TV presenter? Do you have any specific interest of appearing in front of audience? So I was like, oh God, that is great news. I would love to try on a TV, live TVs. So I instantly said yes, and she tried me a couple of times, and the testing was great. So the result was I started to appear on like afternoon news, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. news. But after 5 or 6 years of hard working, 5 or 6, 7 years like dedication, I started to appear on the primetime news. Like at UBS, I think at MNB too. You know, if you want to appear on the live primetime news, there must be some requirements are there. So all those requirements were obstacles, but very learning steps for me. So till this day, I cherish those.
What did you like
memories,
the most about working in TV industry?
Of course, first of all, I was a junior, so like getting many people recognizing you. Oh, that is the guy. Or that is the guy who appeared on TV. Or oh, is he guy from the TV commercial or something like that? You know, that things like back when the school resumed in the autumn, like some of the classmates recognize you. So that is like initial like reaction. But then again, you start to learn to blend in, to work with the TV employees, and back then in my high school days, to be honestly, I was quite shy. But at TV, I learned to behave myself as an outgoing, easygoing person. So I cemented myself as different, like funny kind of. I learned to have a sense of humor. So those are things I learned like personally, like. But again, I went abroad to cover like what do you say, world events, like ranging from like FIFA World Cup, even like Miss World competition, which is held annually. So in 2000, if I remember correctly, it was back in 2007. I traveled to South Africa. So I was quite young back then. I was like taking photographs and like using my English as a translator. But back then, 10 years later, I'm thinking like, I should have done that. Oh, I had the chance. So like I should have like took more like conversations, or I should have taken more like interviews with like more South Africans or something like that. So it's like you get to learn new things in each passing day. That is my
At TV especially.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your childhood. When you were a childhood, from this research, your parents got into business world after the 1990 Democratic Revolution times, and by that time you were a kid, obviously, and then you helped them at the market, and you were especially helping them on the crossing the trail, etc. So can you share some interesting memories from those days? Because I know that so many people started doing business, small businesses, right? And then even as a child, you help your parents in the labor market. You know, if some people hear it today, oh, that's a child labor.
Or he must be lying. Or something.
Yeah. But can you share some memories?
Okay. Let me elaborate on that. It was back in the high school days, and then the start of my university days, when I was in my freshman year and sophomore year. My parents, I was born in a family of four. My parents and also my older sister, we lived together. We used to live together. And my parents used to work at the government organizations. Namely, one is University of Agriculture. My mom was a lab assistant there. She worked there. She was employed there over 20 years. And dad used to work at the Institute of Finance. Now I think now it's called the Chamber of Commerce. Nowadays.
So they were both government workers.
Yeah, they were. But
back then.
But you just said that during the time of regression, time of depression or regression or something like that, transition, or I might say, they envisioned themselves as a businessman, businesswomen. So they started following my granddad, my late granddad, and they went to the formerly known as the Dinjiming. It's a black market, and they went to Dinjiming black market every day. You know, they were in the textile. So yes, so they used to sell textiles. They import them from China, and they sell textile every day. And back then we didn't have any car or like vehicle, so every day
not so many
not so many guys.
Cars.
So they walk to the Dinjiming, or like they with quite a big load. So load is quite big, and back then I was like 11, 12, 13 years old, and saw them, and then when my university years came, Narantol was already operating. So at
the biggest black market.
Biggest black
in Mongolia.
market. Yeah. So at Narantol, they started their own like you cannot say it's a pavilion, but it's an open space for market. So they are staying there. Every day they go in there. So I try to follow them, but in the morning I get put my clothes on and let's go together. And but Dad always used to say, you're not big enough. You're not big enough to so stay home. But like after a couple of years, we started to go to Narantol together, and some of the days I tried to ease the burden on my parents, I lifted the loads of and also pushed the carts, and Narantol's life is nowadays some of the kids some of the youngsters are not like familiar with Narantol's everyday life, but back then it was quite enjoyable. Enjoyable. During the summer days, I went there and like selling textiles and talking to like customers and they like, oh, funny boy, do you want to something like a conversation like always urge, and then if I sell some like 3 or 4 meters of textile, I'm so like whole day I'm so happy, you know. So I feel like I have done something great, you know.
Well, you started this business thing really early then. How old were you by then?
I think it was 20 years old, 19 years old during my university. The university summer holidays, I used to go to Narantol. Then in the junior year, there were offer came in. That offer was if you have IBT TOEFL score, you could go to Japan for like student exchange program. So I went to Japan. So the Narantol days were over. But nowadays my parents are already retired. But my mom is still in the textile business. She's sitting in a pavilion inside a Silk Road. This is kind of sub-branch of Narantol, kind of. It sells, every day it sells textile. So those were the good memorable days.
Wow, interesting. Well, as a tradition, we introduce you, who you are on papers.
Okay.
And let's take a look at Mr. Jagaa Damdin's CV. Quite interesting. Quite interesting CV you have. You studied in Japan, you studied in United States. Well, today you are in a business of startups, entrepreneurship. What is the most interesting startup business idea that you are working on, from your perspective?
The most memorable, the most interesting startup project, which was introduced at the startup terminal, I should name this small scale gear project.
Okay.
This gear can be, this is a detail, so many details are needed to build a gear. So from outside, it's a wonderful like a present gift gear.
Souvenir?
Souvenir, something like that. But inside there are like hundreds of details, so you need to do like collect them, build the gear. So this was a great startup for me.
What's the name of it?
Nad. The name is Nad. Yeah, Nad.
I think I've seen the products in souvenir shops. Yeah,
the products already.
There are
been,
small ones and big ones.
It already started.
But I've never opened one.
It's
how is it going?
Yeah, from what I heard, from my understanding, it's selling good. It's the sales is not so bad. So,
Well,
but the purpose, the mission is to what do you say, advertise, to conserve Mongolian heritage by like making a useful souvenir, Mongolian souvenir, and the guys were behind. The creators were very beautiful-minded guys.
So I should buy one for my kid.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
To preserve the heritage.
Yeah.
And our children need to learn these. Well, anyways, we have prepared, as you know, we have prepared a small short video about Startup Terminal, and let's take a look at that.
I started working here at the IU Group in 2015. Back when I was working at the UBS, there was an offer came from my friend. He told me that there's a great job available at the IU Group. You will be head of the marketing department. Also, back at that time, I had a tremendous interest in working as the marketing manager or the marketing department salesperson. So it was a tremendous offer, you know. So I had to accept that. I had to accept it, and it was a big challenge, Till 2015, I was more into wasn't known as a media sector person, but since 2014, since 2015, I wanted to get known in a business sector. So I took the offer and started working as the Chief of Head of External Relations Manager at the IU Group. Since then, it has been 4 years. The venture has been very successful so far, personally, I think. As for the startup terminal, we offer all-in-one co-working offices for our tenants. That's the biggest distinguishing difference from the whole other co-working offices operating in Mongolia. As for my parent company, IU Group, it was established in 2006. It has a dozen years of experience in working in the construction sector, also in service business. As for myself, since joining this IU Group company, I have learned a lot of things. At the moment, I remember some of the things, because I worked at the media sector for numerous years, so some of the things were very new to me. When I tried to hold a business meeting, business conferences, initially they saw me as a TV person, TV personnel, or TV presenter, working as the TV host for this event or something like that. Kind of events took place in my venture in this IU Group company, but in recent years, more and more people are recognizing me as the manager at the Mongol complex. So I want to get to known as a general manager, director, business person, and entrepreneur. As for the Mongolian business sector, that is very my motive. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, interesting, new ideas and new initiations and project. What is your closest business plan, business destination that you want to reach as a CEO of Startup Terminal? What are you planning?
Yeah, in short term, I would like to create a new branch of Startup Terminal. Right now, we have only one branch. The headquarters is located at the southern part of Ulaanbaatar. But now, each past day, I'm thinking about opening a new branch. I think last week, yeah, I was surfing the internet and I searched and I found an article about the Singapore's top co-working office company.
Okay.
Yeah, this company has a history of 10 years, over a decade, and in the initial years, it was seen as a failure, but now it's seen as one of not just Singapore's, Asia's biggest co-working office.
Oh wow,
yeah.
really?
This one has they branches in South Korea, Japan, even India, so many countries.
Wow.
So it's a good example. For instance, I would like to open a new branch, and I would love to refurbish them or love to furnish them in a different manner. If you go to the southern part startup terminal, the design layout is in early 2000s style or something like that. But if you go to the whole new branch in the northern part of startup terminal, the interior layout should be this is just for instance, imagination, late 1990s or late 80s retro style.
You want to create variations?
Yeah, variations, definitely. That's the word.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about love. Well, this MNB World
Great
talk show
topic.
is all about personal stories and about Mr. Jagaa Damdin. So love is inseparable part of anyone. So you have a fiancé,
Yeah.
right? But you haven't been married yet.
Yeah.
Tell our audience how you guys met.
We met in 2006. In 2006, she used to work at my company, not UBS, the other company. I started to work as the external relations manager at the IU Group from 2015. So there was a new manager came in. She just
2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
She came into my company in 2016. She was a brand new, graduate from Shanghai. So her language skill, Chinese language proficiency was great, and also her English was very good. So she was very helpful in my, like, what do you say, creating my career at IU Group. So she was very influential. Then again, like, we started to, like, the love started to blossom.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. I want to know, what did you like the most about her? Let's put the education, let's put the attitude aside.
She's my top counselor. She's my top, like, advisor. Back at home, even when a bad, like, after a bad day at the startup terminal, I always share the stories of the whole day, and she gives me this kind of ideas, advices, and I would definitely say she's way smarter than me, because she's very thoughtful.
You're confident.
Yeah.
To say that. She's smarter than you.
I'm
You're
100%.
the dumb one.
Yeah, not dumb one, but she's smarter than me. Yeah, not just educational background, but the thinking, the planning, and, like, women are very good at, like, attention to detail. So she's kind of person like that. So she always gives me good advices, and even, like, clothing or something like that style. You know, she always gives me.
Don't you say that? Yeah, about my wife, yes, they do that.
Yeah.
Oh, this and that. You should wear this and that. Okay, well, what's her name again? You haven't mentioned it yet.
Her name is Gerasuran, and we're expecting a baby boy. Yeah, I think it's upcoming November. Yeah.
Wow,
So
well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's not the big celebration yet,
Yeah,
as
not yet,
Mongolians.
yeah.
Let's keep it down.
Let's
right?
keep it down, yeah.
Well, anyway, it's a good news. You have told us that your hobby is watch a movie. What's the last movie you watched?
The last movie I watched is X-Men series. X-Men's, the latest one is Dark Phoenix.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, X-Men Dark Phoenix is portrayed. The main role is portrayed by I couldn't remember the name correctly, but the main character, female character, is from the Game of Thrones, Sansa. Her name is Sansa.
Yes, I know.
Yes, you know
girl,
Sansa, yeah.
Tall girl.
So she's a very famous. Also, James McAvoy, all these, Jennifer Lawrence, all those Hollywood big names played in the latest one.
All those sexy ladies.
All those sexy ladies, all them sexy ladies, yeah. The movie was quite good, you know. The budget was 200 million or something like that, but the result, some of the critics were there, but I enjoyed it because it's a big blockbuster movie. The acting was great, and I enjoyed the theatrics, so it was great, yeah.
I have two more questions, which are both about future. So what is your future goal? What is your goal in the nearest future?
That's from personal, yeah? Personally.
Yes. It's all personal.
I don't know. It might get accomplished or it might get implemented or something like that. But I always envision myself as a great TV host in a foreign TV environment, but like a Bloomberg USA or like Fox or something. Yeah. So that is connected to my TV roots. So I've been working there for like 12 years. So now I would love to like change the scenery, but not in Mongolian TV industry branch, because personally I try to stay loyal. Like that is my motive. So I would definitely not change my TV. But if there's an offer coming from like United States abroad, I would definitely try myself, because before like I get too old, you know. Now in my 30s now. But you know, in the United States or in Western countries, like even the 50-year-old, 60-year-old, yeah,
it's a whole different culture.
Yeah, whole different culture. They accept you. They don't care you look old. They don't.
Based on your experience
It's
and
work experience, that is great.
Capability.
Capability, yeah,
right.
definitely. So that is quite in my plan. If some kind of offers come in, I will definitely check it out. Yeah.
So okay, that's your personal goal or dream. What do you dream for Mongolia? This is my last question. And give me some details. What kind of future do you want for Mongolia and the society of Mongolia?
Okay, let me be precise. Like for like modern Mongolians, some of the Mongolians, they try to be too. I don't know. They tend to trust some of the internet news, some of the internet social networking sites to like, because social networking sites are just the platform that is being used by the news outlets to sell the news, right? But some of the fake sites or some of the fake social networking profiles or sites, they create some of the fake news and they try to gain followers. This might be a specific. Let me be specific. They tend to release some kind of news there, and they collect many likes, and then they use those sites to like release some of the hidden agenda news, political news, propaganda especially. That is a bad manner, bad way of marketing. But as for myself, I daily co-host the pages, social networking site related to my current work, Startup Terminal, IU Group. And I try to be organic and I try to be loyal as much as possible, because if you gain like some of the thousands of followers by releasing or like creating fake news, it doesn't prove that it's not worth it. I would definitely say that. So like 5 or 10 years later, Mongolians like tend to like they change the level of trust. You know,
Social media education.
Social media,
Is that it?
Exactly, yeah. Social media.
So social media education. Do you want the society of Mongolia to be educated?
Educated, yeah. And we should educate them. You know, like some of
as media people.
As a media employees and personnel. Yeah, we should contribute in that.
Well, I wish you good health and good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, this has been Mr. Jagaa Damdin, the CEO of Startup Terminal, journalist and media presenter of UBS TV. I hope you loved our conversation, and let's see you with our next episode. Until then, goodbye.